Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Sox on Tap.
Tony, my first reaction is just, fuck yes, let's go.
Sox versus the Twins. That's where it all starts. It all starts taking care of business in-house in the Central Division.
That's right, I'm a meatball.
You got to bring that top button swag, baby.
It is always great to beat the Cubs.
And I'm a homer, so I always say they're gonna.
Dallas Keuchel Lamson got some beards that you should be afraid of.
What everybody said when he gets out there, it's me versus the other guy, and I'm going to beat him. So I just love that mentality. It's cool and fucking tough.
Steve, would you say that Tony is mad online?
I would definitely say that.
The White Sox winner. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Sox on Tap. I am your boy, Buzz. I'm joined by my dude, NWI Steve, and we are here to recap the doubleheader today. White Sox doubleheader here on Memorial Day. Sox take the first game 8-6. They drop the second game 3-1. Before we get into this, be sure you're going to ontapsportsnet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at Sox on Tap, at OnTapSportsNet. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us. 5-star rating and review because that's cool and tough. Also, check out Grandstand. Any White Sox gear you need, check out Grandstand. You can follow them on socials at Grandstand Sox, or you can go right by the ballpark and check them out. So Grandstand Sox, check out grandstandsox.com. Anything you need, Chicago sports apparel-wise, check them out. Steve, doubleheader, man. We split it. How you feeling?
Hey, yo, Buzz. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm cracking them
well,
right now.
Got a split. That's, as Coach Ruzich used to say at South Suburban, splitting is like kissing your sister.
Jesus. Oh, that got deep right away. All right. Well, yeah, which is not.
Yeah.
I put out a tweet that negated that because I was like, oh, it's okay that we tweeted, but when you put it like that, it's not all right. It's not all right. What's up, Sox side, Mike? Hello. What's going on, Panthera? I think that's Justin. Anyway, yeah, what's going on, brothers? So, yeah, Steve, first game. Let's just start off with this real quick because were you surprised? We knew Rodon was going to have troubles here and there. We knew it was going to happen, Steve. But how it kind of happened was crazy. The White Sox go 3-out in the top of the first in the first game. Bottom of the first, Hernandez and Rosario both homer to left field. What was off of Rodon, who's been like the man. He's been the real deal Holyfield all year. It scared me a little bit, Steve. Now, I don't know about you, though.
Well, I think the Indians just had a little bit of a different game plan. I mean, this is the third time they've seen Carlos Rodon here this season, and early on, through the first couple of innings, it was very obvious that their plan was to try to attack him early in the at-bats. We saw Hernandez do that on the first pitch of the game. Rosario did it on the second pitch of his at-bat. So 3 pitches in, they had a 2-0 lead. And that was something that kind of continued throughout the rest of that inning and a little bit into the second inning, going out there and, like I said, trying to jump Carlos early on in the plate appearances, not letting the accounts get too deep. And it was an interesting approach and something that we haven't really seen a lot of other teams do against him to the effective early in here. And all things considered, Carlos just really didn't have great stuff today here. Stone was commenting on it, and part of the issue here was he just simply didn't feel. He essentially was a 2-pitch pitcher today with the fastball and the slider. A couple of instances of fastballs just kind of getting away from him from a command level standpoint, but when he didn't have that change to kind of mix in there as a third off to keep hitters off balance a little bit with his 2 primary offerings, that can certainly make your day a little bit more challenging as a pitcher there. And the Indians were able to kind of tee off on that. And when he was trying to offer that changeup, that's when they were really doing some damage to him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that was really great analysis actually right there. Fantastic. Always, Steve. So yeah, my initial reaction to Rodon getting lit up in the first there, or not, I don't want to say lit up. It was only 2 runs, but two long balls back to back, right? I was like, oh my God. I'm like, I rushed home 6 hours to watch this doubleheader. I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't have this be a bad day for baseball. Like, please, I want to have a good day of baseball. We were up in Lake Tomahawk, Minocqua area. celebrating Memorial Day weekend. Thank you to everybody that is serving now or has served in the past. Thank you very much from here at On Tap. But we were celebrating the weekend there, went to the zoo, did some cool things, flew home. Rodon lets up 2 dingers in the first game. Shit. But it's no fear, though, Steve. No fear, because the White Sox come out in the top of the second, and they make it happen. Abreu grounds out right away. Mercedes walks. Eaton doubles to right. Mercedes to third. Garcia reaches on an infield single, and then Zach Collins doubles to right. Really squared up on that ball there. Got it through, and I liked to see that out of Zach Collins. Our boy Nick Madrigal, and then it'll make the score 3-2 because that actually scores everybody on base. Madrigal grounds out to second. TA walks. Collins scored after Anderson is picked off. Now, a lot of people had different opinions on this. I want to touch on this right away and get your thoughts on it because I was like, oh, shit, they got him in a rundown. So immediately for me, I'm like, Collins, go. So, like, you can cross that plate, get that run, and then, Tim's fast enough to elude them for a minute. That's what happened. Heads up baseball play or bonehead play?
I think it was a combination of the two. Tristan McKenzie was trying to keep Tim close, and he was throwing over there with consistency. And obviously, we have the benefit of being able to see the catcher, being able to see the signals, and they were clearly going to go over to first base to try to keep Tim close and try to catch him guessing first move, and trying to pick him off to put the inning away here. So it was a bonehead move in a sense that he did get deked, kind of first move there, but then he did have the wherewithal once he was inside the rundown to stretch that thing out enough so that Zach Collins could score on that play. And you could see him, he was waving Collins home the whole time. He's like, go, get there, and I'm gonna stay in this thing long enough for you to score. So that certainly was pretty helpful from that standpoint. One other thing that I think we need to touch on there with the Zach Collins double, a key play in that particular scenario was the error by Cesar Hernandez at second base right there that allowed Leury to score. He simply dropped the relay throw, and he took his sweet-ass time going to pick the ball up, and Leury had the wherewithal to realize he wasn't making a move on the ball, so he broke to the plate and scored that third run. That run proved to be pretty crucial there in that spot. So obviously getting 4 runs in that inning there when you may have only gotten 2, that's a pretty big deal right there. So we saw some interesting base running, some good base running in a couple of instances, and then one kind of boneheaded play, but Tim was able to redeem himself a little bit by stretching out the rundown long enough for Collins to score.
Right. So the scoring kind of goes a little silent there after that, Steve, because that was what we just talked about was the top of the second. So a lot of scoring done there in the first 2 innings there. So after that, we go to the bottom of the third. It got quiet for the Indians and the Sox for the bottom of the second, top of the third, but we go bottom of the third. Hernandez, he homers again to left, 396 feet, makes the score 4-3. Top 4, nothing for the Sox. Going into the bottom of the fourth, the Indians end up tying the game. Chang doubled to deep right, that scored Naylor. We go to the top of the fifth, nothing. Bottom of the fifth, nothing. Top of the sixth. That's when the Sox get back and make the score 5-4. Mercedes grounds into a fielder's choice. To second, Mancada scored on an error. Abreu safe at second after a throwing error by Hernandez. So, Sox go right back up. You see anything on that play? It was such a busy game for a 7-inning. I know it ended up going 8, but such a busy game for a 7-inning game. Like sometimes when we do these, Steve, I'm like, man, nothing really happened in like a 9-inning game. Today, I just felt like there was so much.
There was a lot in a very condensed time frame here. The one thing that really caught my attention in the 5th inning when the Sox added that 5th run here to retake the lead, and this is something that Stone touched on, was the fact that Jose Abreu was running on the pitch when Yermin Mercedes was at the plate, and the fact that he was running on the play prevented the double play from happening as Hernandez's throw actually hit Abreu in the helmet on that. And we all know I've taken Tony La Russa to task in a number of instances for some of his tactical decisions here in the early going of the 2021 season. That was a very smart decision on his part, putting Jose Abreu in motion on that particular spot to try to stay out of that double play, and that directly led to a run. So you got to give La Russa credit for that when he made a quality decision like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely agree with that. Man, this beer is really good. It's that Represent beer I have again. So damn good. Good sour ale. Check that out, everybody, if you want a good sour ale. Represent. It's called Nate Diaz put it out, UFC fighter. Anyway, yeah, so that was interesting to me because didn't Abreu, like, I at that point in time, we were doing a little bit unpacking. I saw the play, but did they talk about he got smacked in the mouth with the glove? Didn't he? Pretty good. Like,
He did, yeah. So he kind of got a double whammy on that play. He took the ball on the side of the helmet, and then he definitely did get a face full of glove there as Rosario, was trying, thought he was going to be in a position to make a play there at second base, and obviously when Abreu was sliding in, he just got a face full of glove there. So he really caught it from both ends on that one.
right? Yeah, he did. He absolutely did. So then after that, again, it's Sox take a 5-4 lead on that. Eaton ends up striking out. Collins ends up striking out. That'll end the inning. Zimmer reaches on an infield single to shortstop. And now this is after Naylor had singled to left center. And Riviera had singled to left. So we had Naylor on third already. Zimmer reaches on an infield single to shortstop. Naylor scored. Riviera to second. That'll tie the game up 5-5. Now, that was a little broken bat thing that Tim Anderson I don't know if he didn't get to the ball in time or if he was lazy about it, depending on what Twitter account. I know you don't know what that is. It's Twatter for twatter.com. But there are a lot of people that. No, go ahead.
One thing I wish that the one thing on that play in particular that I wish we had is I wish we had, the Sox camera crew actually there in Cleveland to see, because I was wondering, did Timmy have a play at second base on Rivera? So, obviously, Zimmer's a guy that runs pretty well, left-handed hitter, big, long strider, so he can get down the line pretty quickly. Rivera, you got a 38-year-old backup catcher. Was there a play at second base? I don't know, because we couldn't see the defensive alignment. We couldn't see, was Madrigal in a position to cover the bag? Could Timmy have just gone to the short route to second base there to get the force at second to end the inning? That's something I would have loved to have had another camera angle there to see, did Timmy make the right play going to first base or not?
Right. I thought he was going to go to second originally, but I don't know. It's like I said, it was a broken bat single. So like it took him a minute to get there. And obviously, Buddy was booking it down the line. Zimmer was fast as fuck, got down the line, and, they end up scoring. I wish we could have saw that, like you said, in a different light, but unfortunately for us, we didn't get to see it that way. Top of the seventh, Sox are quiet. Bottom of the seventh, the Indians are quiet. Now, the top of the eighth, that's when it gets going here for the Sox. They put 3 runs up in the top of the eighth inning. Abreu hits a sacrifice fly, which will score Billy Hamilton after Billy Hamilton stole third base. Mercedes walks. Eaton homers to right center field. The Indians will come out in the bottom of the eighth, Steve, and they'll score a run, but it'll be 8-6. And that's all she wrote for this game. The Sox take it in 8 innings. Cody Hoyer, he only let up a hit. He did have a strikeout. Aaron Bummer scared a lot of people at first, but he calmed his little ass down and he got us out of it. So that'll end the first game there. Sox take it 8-6 to open up the series, a 4-game set against Cleveland. So I'll take that win for sure.
Look, for whatever the reason, this team for the last 10 years or so has really struggled playing in that ballpark. Crazy things happen. It's almost kind of taken the mantle from the old Metrodome up in Minnesota, where it was like, if something could go wrong for the Sox, it would. And it seems like that's really happening in Cleveland at this point here. So anytime you can get out of there, like you said, with a win, you'll take it, obviously. And, given the fact that this is the team that is in second place chasing you, you put another win in the left-hand column right there. That's going to help your chances here as we go forward here into June.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to move on into game 2 here. And in game 2, the Sox end up losing this 3-1, but I do want to speak on something before we start kind of getting into the game itself. Is like, people were really upset about Andrew Vaughn not playing. Now, if we go back into podcasts that we've had, Steve, together, and I think it was in the one that like you, Tony, and I were on, I want Vaughn to play as much as possible, but Vaughn hasn't missed a ton of time this year, and he's played like the last 11 games in a row. Maybe today was a full off day for him just to kind of chill. I just kind of want you to touch on this because a lot of people were upset about it. Like, would I like to see him in the lineup for game 2? for sure. I would. But maybe this is a full off day. Maybe he gets the full fucking day off because it's 14 innings. Well, in our case today, 15 innings of baseball because of the, the extra inning that we had to play there in game 1. But I'm cool with it. Like, I'm not questioning too much shit anymore. This team is 13 games above 500. I'm done with it. I'm done with the lineup shit. I'm done with all of that. If someone's going to have a fucking day off here and there, that's fine. But at the end of the day, Steve, Andrew Vaughn is the everyday left fielder, and he has been consistently for a while. So if he gets a day off, it's fine, right? I mean, right?
I'll say this. I hadn't really given that any thought, to be completely honest with you. But I think it is a little bit interesting to see that in both doubleheaders that we've seen in the last 3 days, Tim Anderson has gotten days off in at least one of the games. And yet, for some reason, Andrew Vaughn doesn't play in either game. And to kind of compound things, kind of given some of the struggles that Yermin Mercedes is having right now, it almost makes me feel like this might be a good opportunity for him to kind of get a blow and just kind of reset mentally there. So I'm not going to get too hung up on it, really, if I'm being completely honest with you. But that is a little bit interesting. And again, that's something that I hadn't even really thought about taking a look at the lineup here for the 2 games.
Yeah, dude. I mean, for me, I went back and I looked, and shout out Don Rossi on Twitter as well. Dude has been a really cool guy that I've known for a while on here. But Vaughn hasn't missed much time. It's like one game, like the last 11 or some shit like that is what he put on there. So I just kind of thought of like a whole off day. Not seeing Tim play the second game, Steve, I was like, wow. I was like, he's sitting again. I don't know if that's because of the struggles that Tim has had at the plate recently. I know he's starting to hit the ball a little bit again, but not what he was doing. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, or maybe it is general soreness. So I'm not 100% sure, my friend, but, I'm just done bitching.
I served with a general soreness once.
Did you really?
Yes.
But I don't know, man. Like, as the season has been going on, and just for us to bullshit, not break down a game for a minute, like, I'm not even questioning it anymore. I wasn't a huge guy that questioned it constantly, but there was like times where I fought for having Vaughn in the lineup, or maybe, batting Yoan Moncada second or third and not, sixth or fifth or some shit like that, just where his career numbers looked better. But everybody gets so hung up on that. And then I just go and I look at the record and I'm like, okay, I know it's early, but this is the first time, Steve, after May 31st, since 2012, I believe, that the Sox are in fucking first place at this time. Okay.
You are correct. And that I remember that season very fondly. That team ripped out part of my soul that I have never gotten back. So I will unfortunately never forget that season.
Well, we're Chicago sports fans for the most part, brother. I mean, what the fuck do we think was going to happen? We're gluttons for punishment, or, we do it to ourselves, but yeah, it's this, like I said, I want to just talk to you about it and just see what your thoughts were about the lineup construction and stuff like that. I mean, people need to realize, like, this was a 31 game. If I'm not mistaken, Steve, it was 31 games in like 31 days or some shit like that is what the Sox were doing, because we had 2 double headers mixed in there. So the off days that were there don't really count because you still have 2 fucking games you have to play in a double header sense. So like, people are going to have to rest and shit like that. The next off day isn't till next Monday, I think. Mm-hmm. So, it's just, and that's just off the top of my head. I would pull this
and don't look at the forecast for Thursday and Friday coming up here, because we may have a double tap for this weekend.
Oh, I got tickets for June 5th. Shout out to my boy Sockside Mike. He hooked me up with June 5th tickets. But yeah, let's get into this game here. Let's get into this. So Sox lose this one 3-1. This is the second game of the doubleheader. Jimmy Lambert gets a start, Steve, which is pretty cool because, he's been talked about, throughout, if you follow Future Sox or anything like that, or if you are into minor league baseball, that Jimmy Lambert's been somewhat of a beast. He did get hurt where he had to get surgery, but I digress. He's been somebody that Sox fans and even people within the organization, within the minor league development, have been excited about. Jimmy Lambert's got some good shit. His brother actually plays in Colorado. I don't know if I'm pretty sure he still plays there. But, this kid's got a ton of talent. He comes out and he has he had a couple good innings in a row there, Steve, before the wheels kind of fell off. So initial thoughts on Lambert coming out. I know he did some work for us last year, but nice to see him this year again.
Yeah, it's good to see a guy come back after, having his first cup of coffee in the big leagues last year, cut short after only 2 innings, where he looked really solid, actually, and he looked pretty strong in the summer camp portion for the team as they were getting ready for the abbreviated season last year. And this is a guy that, like you mentioned, kind of got on the prospect radar, so to speak, in the second half of the 2018 season, and then had to have Tommy John surgery in 2019 that cut his season short. So he's been a guy that has been unfortunately plagued by some elbow injuries over the last 2 years, but his stuff really did start to tick up a little bit during the 2018 season when he was in AA Birmingham. So this is a guy that, you kind of looked at as maybe a depth option should they need to utilize him. And then here, of course, today they did. I thought overall, the stuff was pretty solid. We was really featuring a changeup in the early innings of this game and was doing a nice job of keeping the Indians hitters off of balance, particularly utilizing that changeup there. And he's got, a good 93, 94 mile an hour fastball there, and was a little bit inconsistent with his breaking ball command here and wasn't really able to spot that for strikes effectively. So that, didn't necessarily help his cause. But by and large, I mean, he did a pretty solid job for them, was able to give them enough outs here in an abbreviated game that allowed them to not have to burn through a bunch of the guys in the bullpen there, because the bullpen has been a little bit taxed here, given some of the double headers and this extended string of games that they've had to play here, as you mentioned earlier.
Right. I liked what I saw out of Lambert. I mean, his changeup had some nasty shit. Like it looked good. So I was happy to see him. I unfortunately didn't work out. We'll just get right into the scoring here, dude. Zimmer singles the center. That scores Ramirez. Bowers gets to third. That'll put the score as 1-0, and that's at the bottom of the second. Bottom of the third for Cleveland, Jose Ramirez. He homers to right.
I hate that motherfucker.
Scores. I hate him too. He's a piece of shit.
Every damn time the Sox go there, he's always hitting a 2 or 3 run home run. I mean, remember, this is the guy that hit the walk-off grand slam last year off Jose Ruiz that ultimately turned out to cost the White Sox a division title. So, this son of a bitch, you can't get him out of that Cleveland Indians uniform quick enough as far as I'm concerned.
I'm with you on that. The only Sox scoring play is Madrigal singling to right and Hamilton scoring. Billy Hamilton's just been on a fucking tear lately. And 2 home runs this weekend over the holiday weekend.
I was at both of them, baby.
Oh, damn, you were at both of them?
I never thought that I would live to see the day where I attended 2 games where Billy Hamilton hit home runs.
Man, dude, I wish I could have fucking been there too, man. I just, like I said, I was up in the cabin, so I missed a lot of shit. And they don't have internet up there, so I was like literally having to find, like, you have to walk around like old school style, bro, to like find a signal. And once I find that signal, my father-in-law has a smart TV, so I put the phone on hotspot and I stream the games off of the hotspot, and it's just so choppy and terrible because the reception up there is so bad. But that I got to see the home runs from Billy Hamilton this weekend, so I'm pretty happy about that personally. Another guy, because there's not much to break down in this game besides the White Sox going 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They left 6 on base total. We had 1 error that was by Madrigal, which is fucking asinine. I don't know if you want to touch on that. I really want to talk about it because it pissed me off. It's just a Nick Madrigal play where he's not taking his time and trying to do too much again. So I don't know if you got anything on that. No? All right, perfect. So anyway, after that, Ryan Burr comes in. He looks real good. This looks absolutely fantastic. I liked what I saw out of him. And then we get Ruiz in. Burr actually goes an inning and a third, and he strikes out 2 on 15 pitches. I was pretty stoked about that. Jose Ruiz just comes in and gives you Jose Ruiz shit. The scoring stopped in the third, so that was all she wrote, man. You got anything else you wanna put on this one?
There wasn't really much to touch on there in game two, like you said. I mean, the Sox had, I think, an opportunity in the sixth inning to get back into this game when Yohan Moncada led off the inning with a double against Phil Maton, a guy who's really kind of struggled for the Indians, and then Abreu Mercedes weren't able to capitalize on opportunities. Mercedes just had 3 or 4 pitches within that particular at bat that he could have absolutely crushed, and it's just a function of a guy that is in a funk right now, and he's getting pitches to hit, and he's just missing them, and that's just that's baseball sometimes.
Yeah, the only thing I want to bitch about real quick is Yasmani Grandal not swinging the bat. And I don't care, like, if I'm going to get all the fucking Grandal-ites or whatever, or the Grandal maniacs coming at me because I'm saying I'm mad at him for not swinging the bat, it's not that I don't think Grandal is a good player. It's that he needs to swing the fucking bat when you have runners on base. This patient shit is putting him into holes, and he is not hitting his way out of it. So swing the bat at good pitches. That's what I got, especially when you're down and you have runners in scoring position. I would like for you to touch on that because I know you're a Grandal guy, but I am too. But like, holy shit, dude, like you can't walk every fucking single time. You need to add something else. I mean, it's got to be all mental with him right now. It has to be.
I don't necessarily know that it is mental. It's really odd. So, when I was at the game on Saturday, the second game, and when he was hitting from the right side of the plate, I think he swung the bat more times in that game than he has any other game during the course of this season here. And it's something I'm going to kind of take a look at. And I'm really curious if he's swinging the bat more right-handed versus left-handed, and so I'm going to kind of dig into what his swing rate looks like there, because it just, to me, and this might just be purely anecdotal on my part, just from being at the game on Saturday here, it feels like he does swing the bat a little bit more from the right side of the plate, whereas when he comes up against right-handed pitchers and he's hitting left-handed, it almost, to me, comes across like there are instances where he just feels like, okay, they're not going to throw me 3 strikes, so I'm just not even going to go out there, and I'm not really going to even attempt to swing. And I'm very much a proponent of guys taking walks and getting on base, but he's also a guy that can hit the ball out of the ballpark, so I'm willing to sacrifice 10, 15 points on that on base percentage if he's going to hit the ball out of the ballpark or hit some doubles there and be more of a run producer. Obviously, you would prefer guys to not make outs than to make outs, but again, this is a guy that has the ability to be a middle of the order run producer and to drive the ball for extra bases, and they need him to be doing that with a little bit more regularity. And it's just, there definitely are a lot of instances where he is far too passive, and I feel like it's happening a little more frequently from the left side of the plate versus the right side.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to actually break that down so I can fucking see it, because I love when you do shit like that. So we'll move into tomorrow's game, Steve. It's going to be the Cleveland Indians once again against the White Sox. One of my favorites, 5:10 p.m. start time. Absolutely love it. I know a lot of people hate that, but I absolutely love it because I got to get up so early for work. So I get to finish that whole game and not feel like a damn zombie when I'm doing Sox on Tap. So super excited for that. It'll be Dylan Cease, 3-1 with a 2.98 ERA, 51 and a third innings pitched, 39 hits led up this year. He has struck out 66, walked 26, let up 4 long balls against one of the best pitchers in all of Major League Baseball, Shane Bieber. 5-3, 3.13 ERA, 72 innings pitched, 60 hits let up, 110 strikeouts to 27 walks. He's let up 9 long balls. That is the matchup tomorrow, Steve.
Third time for the Sox seeing Shane Bieber this season. So, obviously had the duel with Lucas Giolito earlier in the year where he went the 9 shutout innings and just had that top-notch level stuff right there that showed why he is a top 5 pitcher in the sport. The second time they saw him, he didn't have the sharp command of his secondary offerings for a good portion of the game, and the Sox actually had opportunities to kind of tack on some additional runs against him. They did score, I think it was 3 in that game. They had a chance to add on more. So it'll be interesting to see which Shane Bieber kind of comes out there tomorrow and what his overall approach is going to be in terms of attacking the Sox hitters. We saw one particular instance, the 9-inning the 9-inning performance where he was very breaking ball heavy. Second time against the team, he was working in the fastball quite a bit more versus the secondary offering. So how he goes about attacking the Sox offense will be interesting tomorrow to see. And from Dylan Cease's standpoint, again, I'm going to beat this dead horse. It all comes down to first pitch, fastball, command. You get ahead in counts, and don't let fucking Jose Ramirez beat you.
Absolutely. You got to pick the click tomorrow, my man.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take MVP because I think Pito knows he had an opportunity to get on a couple of runs here in this game too today, and I think he's going to come out a little bit inspired. And he's actually done decent against Shane Bieber, if I recall correctly, and he's a guy that historically hits top-notch pitching pretty well. He's had a lot of home runs against guys that have been Cy Young Award winners throughout the course of his career, so I think he's going to come out pissed off tomorrow, and I think he's going to put one in the bleachers there in the first inning.
That'd be good. I would definitely be very excited if Pito puts one in the fucking bleachers in the first inning. I would definitely be very happy about that because starting off strong against Shane Bieber is something that is, you really want to happen. I'm going TA tomorrow, dude. I'm going TA. And 23 at bats for TA. He's hitting 348 against Shane Bieber. So he's getting on base. He's making it happen. I'm taking TA tomorrow, especially because he got today off. That's all I really have, man, for the episode. What do you got going?
No, man, I think we covered everything here. Look, getting a split obviously isn't what you want, given the fact that I think the second game was winnable here. But look, you're 3.5 games up in the division. You got a chance to get another win tomorrow. It's going to be a tough test for you, but they're proving that these games against the Cleveland Indians are going to be tight. They're going to be tough, and they're going to be ones that are going to want to make you kind of pull your hair out a little bit. But you got to go out there and you got to find a way. And if you want to win games in late September and into October, if you fancy yourself a championship team, you got to beat guys like Shane Bieber if you want to do that. So go out there tomorrow, find a way to do it. Let's go.
Absolutely. Everybody be sure you're going on OnTapSportsNet.com for all your Chicago sports literature and podcasting needs. Following us on Twitter at OnTapSportsNet, at Sox on Tap. Anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can listen to us. 5-star rating and review because that's cool and tough. Also, check out Grandstand. Steve and I have some awesome friends over at Grandstand. They just released that Pinwheels collection that looks so fucking awesome. I got to get down there. Got to get down there and get the hat and get the shirt. Go check out Grandstand. Follow them at socials at Grandstand Sox. Or go to grandstandsox.com. We'll be back tomorrow in some variation. I don't know who the hell it's going to be, but out of the four of us, 2 of us will be back here tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be here. So be sure you're here tomorrow after the Sox beat the Cleveland Indians. White Sox forever.
White Sox for life.